Here, let's go over all the games happened on Thursday night. The first game is the Celtics beating the Raptors. Raptors, they got everybody out due to COVID protocol, even the coaches. So I expect all the guys to come back unless they got COVID. But if they didn't have COVID, it's good. They're only going to miss 2 games. They'll be back next week after the All-Star break. But if your guy gets COVID, that sucks. Probably going to be out for another week or two. Kyle Laurie, the big headline is Kyle Laurie in fantasy had 19 assists. Didn't shoot the ball well, didn't really give you anything else, but 19 assists is really, really strong. Kyle Laurie, I wouldn't worry about him if he goes to another team. You know, veteran point guard, it doesn't really matter where he goes. He should still give you decent assists, hit some threes, give you a little bit scoring, and just fill up the stat sheet for a veteran like Kyle Laurie. But staying on the Raptors, he probably gets the most minutes, and he can, do the most. He's the number one guy on this team, right? Norman Powell, the other two guys, Norman Powell and Chris Boucher, they both got 35 plus minutes, around 35 minutes. Norman Powell continues to be great, 25 points. I would still highly recommend trading this guy. With all the injuries going on, he obviously has played really, really well, played really high minutes. But I think once everybody comes back, is he gonna have this level of production? And what happens if the shooting falls off? Even if he just maintain the same level of playing time, what if the shooting falls off? Because majority of his value comes from points and efficiency. So if the efficiency falls off, just nothing. Because he's not a big assist guy, not a big rebound guy. Decent, okay, still not a lot of blocks. So it's all about the efficiency. Chris Boucher played 35 minutes, really great game, 30 points, no defensive stats, and committed 6 fouls. This is the problem with guys. Although Norman Powell also had 6 fouls. This is the problem with guys that can get a bunch of blocks. They just get into foul trouble so easily. Still play 35 minutes here and just filled up the stat sheet. This is like I'm getting the Christian Wood vibe. I don't know which Christian Wood is probably better, but Chris Boucher can really fill up the stat sheet and as a big guy can obviously block a lot of shots, but hit threes and hit free throws, all that kind of stuff. I don't know what's gonna happen with Chris Boucher next year. Is he gonna? I don't know why his contract ended, but good stuff from him. Whenever he gets minutes, he produces. Boston Celtics, Jason Tatum, great, 27 points. if he has another couple of bad shooting nights, sure, buy low on him. But on a per game basis, he should be around top 15 player. While Daniel Theis, he did not get injured. I just want to make sure I checked. He did not get injured. He just played 7 minutes. So this is obviously great news for Robert Williams, right? Who played 23 minutes. I still think they still got 3 big guys in the rotation. Played all 3, and Marcus Smart is going to be back. So what happens when Marcus Smart back? This is the most minutes Robert Williams can play. Probably 23 minutes is the ceiling. Good game, 3 rebound and 7 rebound and 3 block shots. I don't know if he's gonna consistently get 23 minutes a game. Maybe he will, but I just want to see what happens when Marcus Smart comes back and what happens when there's certain matchups. Do you really want to play Robert Williams 23 minutes? Tristan Thompson still got his 24 minutes. Interestingly, didn't grab you a lot of rebound. 13 points is okay. He's mainly a rebound guy. Jaylen Brown is, the efficiency is falling off quite a bit. Let's just check his ranking. I will be pretty scared to check, to be honest. He shot the free throw pretty poorly this game and bad from the field and 1 block. 7 rebound is good. Let me see what's Jaylen. Yeah, he's 56. That's how fast the ranking for him can fall, because the efficiency fall off. He's still shooting 49% on the season, averaging 25 points. Oh man, I don't know. He next thing you know, he might be a top 70 or 80 guy. I would not really buy low him for a top 50 guy. Although I said plenty of times I see him as a top 40 guy. Maybe I need to change. I just didn't know the efficiencies can have such a negative impact on his rankings. He's still shooting 50% from the field and 77% from the free throw line, while averaging 24.7 points. I don't know. Once the efficiency fall off, he's gonna probably in category at least he's gonna be a top 70, 80 guy, and the points is still nice, but I I'm thinking the points might also fall off a bit. Have some worries with Jaylen Brown. We'll see. Only took 11 shot attempts as well. It's 2 games in a row. I still expect him to be the number 2 guy on this team, but with the return of Kemba Walker, sure, he's gonna take some usage away from him. Kemba had 2 blocks, 6 assists, both nice. Only 15 points, bad efficiency. This is what Kemba is gonna be at 5 turnovers. Again, for Kemba, I don't see him as a top 50 guy either. Maybe a top 70, 80 guy. So if you can trade a top 40 or 50 guy for Kemba, I would probably do it. He will pop off occasionally, have like 30 points, but mainly he doesn't really give you a lot of stuff in other categories. And he's sitting out a lot of games. And Robert Williams, really nice, 23 minutes. If he can get 23 minutes a game, sure, you hold on to him. I just don't know. Sometimes he might just get 15 minutes with Marcus Morris coming back. The Celtics team, they are, they're rotating. The Brad Stevenson is experimenting in different lineups at the moment, so we don't know what's gonna happen. Jeff T got 27 minutes. Pretty good. 4 assists, a steal and a block, 14 points, but we don't know. The rotation is, other than those big 3, the minutes is weird. And I guess also Marcus Smart, he should be getting 35 minutes consistently. The next game, the Wizards got a grading me over the LA Clippers. Let me see Wizards standing right now. And they had a tough one. They lost to the Celtics a couple nights ago, just barely, right? Barely lost it to them. And they are 12th. They're still 12th. But they only one game, on the loss column, they're only one game away from the 8th seed, the Raptors. The Raptors lost 19, won 17. The Wizards won 14, but lost 20. But they got to play a few more games, and they're 7-3 going into the All-Star break. So good stuff for the Wizards. For the Clippers, Paul George, they call it dizziness. They just want to give him a rest before the All-Star break. So no worries there. Kawhi Leonard, 22 points, and he's fallen off quite a bit lately. If you can buy low from him, sure, because he's 6th ranked player on the season and only averaging 1.5 steals. His steal numbers has fallen off quite a bit. Maybe he's getting tired. Going to an All-Star break, it would help. But on the per game basis, for the rest of the season, he should be a top 5, top 6 guy. No worries. Kawhi Leonard was a plus 9, while Nicholas Batum was a minus 23. So something must have happened for the Wizards where they went on a huge run. Right, it's a 32-point difference between Nicholas Batum and Kawhi Leonard. Batum, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. Looks okay. It's mainly about the defensive stats. His defensive stats lately have been falling off, so I'm not too interested in him. Serge Ibaka, you gotta drop this guy. Even when he's playing 20, 25 minutes, his best game is giving you 15 points and 7 rebounds. Like the best. I wouldn't hold on to him. Zubac, that's the most minutes he's played all season from what I remember. 29 minutes with Paul George out, great, 13-13. But we know most nights he's playing 20 minutes. Riley Jackson, Patrick Beverly, all those guys had an okay game with Paul George out. But none of the guys is interesting streaming. They could all be streaming options. I wouldn't roster them full time. Patrick Beverly does have some. He's a point guard that can fill up the stat sheet. But the minutes wasn't, this season was just not really high for him. On the Wizards side, Bradley Beal, bad efficiency, but great free efficiency from the free throw line. 14 for 15, 33 points, 7 rebounds, 2 steals blocked. Great stuff. And Russell Westbrook, if you just pretend he didn't go 7 for 15 from the free throw line. This is a great line. 47% from the field is good for Russell Westbrook. Only 1 turnover and 4 steals. His steal numbers are coming back up. He can, I think he should average 1.5 steals a game for the rest of the season pretty comfortably. 11 assists, 9 rebounds, just great stuff. But the free throw, if you pound a free throw, you gotta trade for this guy. You just have to. If you pound a free throw and turnovers, he's great. If you pound in 2 of the 3 categories, although free throw at the moment, it's hard to salvage. If you are not pounding free throw, it's hard for you to win free throw at all. he's single-handedly destroying your free throw. But if not, if you pound your free throw, great value. Great counting stats for Russell Westbrook. Rui Hachimura, the third guy, supposedly the third guy on the Wizards. You don't want to roster him. The minutes is high, but he hasn't put up a big line in a while now. So I wouldn't, and he doesn't really contribute across the board. And their center rotation continues to. Alex Len did not play. Wagner and Lopez, they split the minutes. None of them did anything. So this Wizards team really, it's just two guys, and Davis Bertans, maybe you want to stream him for 3-pointers, and nobody else you should be interested in streaming. If Russell Westbrook is out, sure you can maybe stream Ron Neto or what's the other guy's name, Ish Smith. But yeah, not a lot of value going around on this fantasy value is going on this Wizards team because those two guys taking all the value. The next game is Detroit Pistons losing to Knicks. They just cannot lose. Detroit is a bad team obviously, but Knicks is beating on their 5th seed in the Eastern Conference. Man, they will make the playoffs. They gotta keep the momentum going. Detroit, Sadiq Bey, the minutes is high. Gotta roster him 35 minutes. 14 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, a steal. It's good enough. 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Siv, 36 minutes, 2 steals, 5 assists. Looking pretty good. The minutes is really high for him. Jeremy Grant, a bunch of guys are out, but if this guy can get consistent 35 minutes, he's worth streaming at least. Mason Plumlee continues to play 28 minutes. I still thinking Isaiah Stewart has been playing 20 minutes a game. At some point, is Isaiah Stewart going to move up to 25 to 30 minutes, and Mason Plumlee is going to lose all those minutes? So I would try to trade Mason Plumlee. So nobody knows how long he's going to have value for. Nobody knows. So I would take this opportunity and try to sell high because he could lose the value at any moment. As long as he's playing 28 minutes, he's producing great value. A block, 4 assists, 13 rebound, good efficiency, 12 points. Wayne Ellington, the minutes is back up again. Because with all those guys out, sure, I'm not too interested. Dennis Smith Jr. continues to play under 30 minutes. I don't know if it's a conditioning thing with him that they don't want to play him over 30 minutes. But I think when Delon Wright comes back, Dennis Smith, as long as he's starting, they should be splitting the minutes. So he should have some value. So just hold on to him. He had a huge game last game, had like 10 plus assists. So I would hold on to him. Isaiah Stewart, 20 minutes, pretty good field goal. Nothing else, but just keep an eye on his minutes. I would, if he ever play 25 minutes, I'll go grab him. On the Knicks side, Julius Randle, Jesus, he had a huge line at the half, but finished with 27, played 42 minutes. So did Lawrence well. Julius Randle, he's a top 40 guy, but this is as high as he can go because the low defensive stats. And free throw started shooting 4 for 6 is not too bad. Just one bagging. We'll see. He's a low 70s guy. Just rest up Julius Randle through All-Star break. See what happens when he comes back. Can he maintain the 80 plus free throw for high volume? Right? Because for those guys, if he can really destroy your field goal for a guy that's be shooting low 70s for his career. We don't know. Maybe he can continue. 16 rebounds, 7 assists. The rest of the line looks fine. Nerlens Noel play 42. I think it's a sell high. You gotta sell high. Mitchell Robinson is gonna be back eventually, and he's not gonna play 42 minutes. He had 5 personal fouls, 4 steals and 2 blocks, 11 rebounds. Heyman plus somebody else for Miles Turner. That makes so much sense. At the moment, Miles Turner probably blocking 1 or 2 more shots, but Nerlens Noel is out producing probably in a lot other categories. 11 rebound, 4 steals. So I would try to make that trade. Him plus some other guy for Miles Turner. Maybe the owner says yes. Nerlens Noel maybe have value for like another month or so. So yeah, if you cannot trade him, hold on tight to him. But try to trade him as early as you can. Because as time passes, once Mitchell Robinson starts practicing, you're not going to be able to sell him, right? But when Mitchell Robinson comes back, he's still at least worth streaming. He might be playing 20, 15 to 20 minutes. Mitchell Robinson should play 35 plus minutes every night. Now he's playing such high minutes because the Knicks, they don't really have another center. That's why he's got to play 42 minutes or 35 minutes every game. RJ Barrett, only 31 minutes. I just want to see him play 35 minutes like he was back before the D-Rose trade. But really efficient game for RJ. 9 for 13, 5 assists. The volume stats is there. He's worth streaming. I wouldn't roster him in category leagues because the bad efficiency. Although this season has really improved in his efficiency. Elfrid Payton came back from an injury. Played 35 minutes and filled up the stat sheet. What else can you do with him with the Knicks point guard, with all the Knicks guard rotation? You know, a couple guys were out. D-Rose was out. And Emmanuel Quigley only played 12 minutes. So I wouldn't roster any of the Knicks guards. And streaming them would be risky because you just don't know how many minutes they're going to play that night. Alec Burks, not interested. And Emmanuel Quigley, 12 minutes, didn't do anything. So somehow he's still on your roster dropping. The next game is the Denver Nuggets beating the Indiana Pacers. Good to see Michael Porter Jr. play 38. It'd be interesting to see what happens when Paul Millsap returns or Garrett Harris. I still expect Michael Porter Jr. to be in the starting lineup. Is he going to play 38 minutes? Maybe, maybe not. 24 points, 11 rebounds. Good efficiency, 1 for 2 from the free throw. Obviously not so good. But this level, you know, I mean, he's not going to average 24 points a game, but he can average 18 and 9. I talked about this. Could be a top 30 guy given the minutes. So, I mean, he's been playing pretty well. If you want to sell high, sure. Sell high for a top 50 guy, but I think he should have top 30 value. But depend on what your team need in category leagues. If your team doesn't, like, maybe you can get him for De'Aaron Fox plus somebody else. De'Aaron Fox plus, I don't know. Because guys like De'Aaron Fox, you know, the rankings is really skewed in fantasy category leagues. So I would try to make that trade. I mean, I don't think any owner is gonna say no if you offer that trade. If you don't need his efficiency and low turnover, right? Jokic, great stuff, 37. Just filled up. I mean, pretty much triple double every game. 7 turnovers is bad and no defense. You know, just rest up during the All-Star break, big fella, and continues to be the number 1 guy. Monty Morris, last year he would come off the bench, give you good assists. No more, not anymore this season. So I wouldn't even stream him at this point. Jamal Murray, you know, continues to get the steals at a pretty high volume. You know, ranked to top 50 at the moment. I just, if you can get a top 40 guy who's been struggling lately, I would trade him for Jrue Holiday, for sure. And on the Pacers side, McDermott played 30 minutes, had 3 steals. That's got to be a career high for him. You know, last game TJ McConnell had the most steals at a half, and McDermott wanted to get into action. On the season, he's averaging like 0.5 steals. So 3 steals is really nice, 20 points. You can stream him for points and some good efficiency. Sabonis fallen off quite a bit in the past couple games. He must be tired. Still a triple-double and 4 steals. You know, rest up, he should be great. Coming back in the second half. Miles Turner, you know, this is what great about Miles Turner. He can play 38 minutes, block 3 shots, and only have 3 personal fouls. And a steal, 12 rebound, a top 15 guy. And again, if you can get Miles Turner for, you know, Nerlens Noel plus somebody else, I would do it. I think for the rest of the season, Miles Turner should be a top 15, top 20 guy. Justin Holiday, another decent game. The minutes is pretty low for him, 27 minutes. But 2 steals, 4 threes, 16 points, only 1 turnover. Malcolm Brogdon, you know, really, I just think these guys, they're just tired at the moment. For the season, what is Brogdon's rankings? Let me see real quick. Yeah, 38th. He should be a top 40 guy, but he's fallen off quite a bit. Still averaging 1.2 steals. If you ever go back to 1 steal a game, you know, you still be top 40 guy. But this is what Brockton does every game. I mean, to some extent, it's a bonus. Not every game, every season. Last season as well, they started off the season super hot and then fall off in the second half. So having 1 week off would really help their fantasy values. TJ McConnell, after the crazy game he had, he was a minus 23, by far the worst on the team. Still got 30 minutes. You still roster him. 5 rebound, 4 steal, and 4 assists and a steal is still giving you value. Let's go on to the next team, the Milwaukee Bucks beating the Grizzlies barely. Damn, this Grizzly team, they still don't have JJJ, and they're playing quite well. And let me see, where is Grizzlies at? 10th in the Western Conference. You know, a lot of tough teams out there. A lot of good teams out there. So it's tough to make the playoffs. Even Warriors are in the 9th seed right now. Chris Middleton, huge minutes. 10 rebound, 4 assists, 2 steals. Good stuff from him, man. The efficiency is off. To me, he's a top 30, top 35 guy. The ranking is going to fluctuate a little bit after one bad game or one good game, but he should be in that area. Giannis continues to fill up the stat sheet. So if you have Giannis, you gotta get Russell Westbrook. Those two guys, the volume of stats they give you, the counting stat is so great. Try to get De'Aaron Fox as well. Like, you probably just can win the league. Add a couple more big guys. Good stuff from Giannis. 11 rebound, 8 assists, 2 steal, and a block. But we know he's bad from the free throw line. But everything else looks so really good. Brook Lopez. This is why you don't drop him. 2 steals and 2 blocks, 12 rebounds. He has a pretty consistent role on this team. Can play close to 30 minutes. You're not gonna get another guy. If you don't need blocks, try to trade him to a team that need blocks. Right? He can consistently give you 1.5 blocks a game. That's really valuable. Dante DiVincenzo, the steals just gone this season for him. No steals here. If no steals, I wouldn't stream him. Jrue Holiday played 22 minutes. He's still ramping up his minutes. A pretty good line, 15 points, 2 steals, most importantly. I would still buy low from him. He should be a top 25 guy, top 30 guy at least, due to the high defensive stats and some assists and rebound. On the Grizzlies side, Dylan Brooks. If you are punting field goal, you got 3 steals and 3 blocks. You gotta roster this guy, or maybe sell him high on him. Right? 7 assists here also. Really just went off. I don't think he's gonna. He has had like a couple of good games in a row, so you hold on to him. You roster him if he's out there. But I think this level of production is not going to continue. Although for the season, he's averaging close to 1.3, 1.4 steals. That is really good for him. So if he pounding field goal, I'll be okay rostering him. He's going to have a couple of rough games here and there, but for overall, playing pretty well this season. In fantasy, at least. Kyle Anderson came back, played 26 minutes, a steal and 2 blocks. You still roster him. JJJ, I mean, what is going on with this guy? He's been, I don't know, this is like 4 months into the season. 3 months into the season, he's still not back yet. And we don't know. Is he going to be back after All-Star break? We don't know. Valanciunas, this is just Valanciunas' numbers. 13 points and 12 rebounds. Weirdly struggled from the field. But when JJJ comes back, Valanciunas should still have good value. But the value is just mainly from the efficiency and the rebound. This season, he hasn't been giving a lot of defensive stats. So, but he's one of the biggest rebound guys in the NBA. So that's good enough value. Desmond Bane played 18 minutes, started. And Brandon Clark, not Brandon Clark, Ja Morant. Ja has had 2 good games in a row. If you could sell him for a top 40 or 50 guy, I would do it. Took 25 shots, just being really aggressive the past 2 games. I don't know if this will continue all season. So if you can get a top 40 or 50 guy, I would absolutely do it. This line looks really, really good. I doubt anybody's going to say no. If you can get a Michael Porter Jr., I would do it, to be honest. Depending on what you need, he really just give you more assists. And everything else, Porter give you better. So maybe points also, he give you a bit more points. But Porter should average 18, while Ja Morant should give you 20, 21. I don't know. I think he's really only 2 categories, points and assists, and he's hurting you pretty much in turnovers and, he doesn't really grab you any rebound, no defensive stats, all that kind of stuff. Brandon Clark, 30 minutes, sure. Stream him, roster him until JJJ comes back if he gets 30 minutes a night. And DeAnthony Melton now only got 15 minutes. Still got you 3 steals, but the minutes are so up and down. Just a Winslow, not interested in this guy. Grabbed you 10 rebound and a block, but 23 minutes, yeah, not enough minutes for them. The next team is the Miami Heat beating the New Orleans Pelicans. Jimmy Butler came back surprisingly. Thought just gonna take another day off, while Bam did not play. Jimmy Butler this season, whenever he plays, honestly, he put up big stats. 29 points again, good efficiency, 9 assists, 3 steals, just good stuff. Should be a top 15 guy per game basis. Just want him to stay healthy. Kendrick now still play 25, so you still stream him. But didn't really give you anything here. But every once in a while he popped off if he played 30 minutes. And with all this guy who is out this game, actually all the guys are pretty much, Goran Dragic and Tyler Hero, they both healthy and played 30 minutes. Tyler Hero had a rough game. I don't think Tyler Hero is a must roster guy. He's very up and down. He's not even playing 35 minutes every single game. So Goran Dragic, same thing. Give you a little bit of points and assists, but nothing else. Kelly Olynyk shot the ball really well. This is one of his best games. But most nights, just watch him. If he has another 2 games in a row, sure, I would stream him. But on most nights, you play 30 minutes and not do anything. He was a plus 19 here as well. Duncan Robinson only a 3-point streamer. And on the Pelican side, Brandon Ingram, 33 minutes. Yeah, great stuff from Brandon. Filled up the stat sheet, 9 assists. This is what you want to see. Scoring, we know he can score a bunch. But he's ranked 31st. I think he can be a top 25 player if just getting a little bit more defensive stats, specifically the steals. Everything else looks fine. I think he should be in the range around top 30 range, and he's very consistent to give you the scoring. Good game here. Josh Hart played 41 minutes because who is out? Yeah, Zion was out, so Josh got all the minutes. 8 rebound. Zion gonna be back after All-Star break, so should only stream him. Steven Adams, only stream this guy. Bad free throw, can grab you some rebounds. Don't roster this guy full time. Eric Bledsoe has had a quite nice games in a row, and only had 25 minutes here. I don't know why, but still got you 5 assists. I would still hold on to him, see what happens. If he falls off, just drop him. Lonzo Ball had one of his worst games, and he was actually dud of the night. Minus 17, 3 turnovers, 10 points, 2 for 11, bad efficiency. He should bounce back. But he's been shooting the ball really, really well. And we know he's not that good of a shooter. He's just on a hot streak, in my opinion. Maybe the shooting will fall off. We don't know. If the shooting falls off, he needs to do more in the other categories: the assists, the steals, the rebound, and the blocks. So we'll see. Nickeil Alexander-Walker finally gets to play 23 minutes, 13 for assists, 13 points, and stealing, but pretty good. Like, he's giving you all the defensive stats, and too bad he's not playing. If anybody gets traded on this Pelicans team, if Eric Bledsoe gets traded, you gotta grab Nickeil Alexander-Walker. If the guy gets 25, 30 minutes, I think he should give you good value. Let's go on to the OKC beat the Spurs. OKC with this is why you gotta trade out Horford. He's resting, and once we get to the end of the season, who knows how many minutes is he gonna play. So the next time he pops off, try to trade him. Although he hasn't had a good game in a while now, so it'll be tough. Shea had a great game, 33 points, 8 assists. Good efficiency. The steals is still low for him this season. Just want to see him push those defensive stats up, and he could be a top 30 guy. I think for the season he's the 48th ranked player. Already the efficiency is good, 80% from the free throw line, 51% from the field. If he pushed the steal numbers to 1, maybe he can be a top 40 guy. But I don't know. This season he hasn't been been great getting those defensive stats. So it'll be tough to see. It'll be tough for him to move into top 30. You gotta bring more, just the 23 points and 5 rebounds and 6 assists. Although the efficiency has been quite nice for him. Theo Maledon continues to get 30 minutes. And the upside for this guy, I don't know. If he doesn't get the steals, he's not worth rostering. Can give you 4-5 assists, maybe not even 5. But he's got a pretty consistent role on this team, so sure. Darius Bazley, another guy, bad efficiency. If you don't care about the efficiency, okay, you can roster him, but he's not even give you the steals and blocks on most nights. I'll keep my eye on him. Maybe, he's broken our heart so many times this season, have a huge game or two, and then go on 5 games without doing anything. So, but he gets 30 minutes every night on this team. Lou Dort, same thing. Pretty good, big, huge game, 4 steals and a block. He won't do this every game. Isaiah Roby is a guy, if Horford ever sits out, or, if he ever starts, I would consider grabbing him. Centers, they're just very rare, in the league. There's not that many centers out there flowing, decent centers playing 30 minutes out there on the waiver wire. If any center play 30 minutes, should probably get rostered. Kendrick Williams played 25 minutes. This is another guy that can fill up with the stat sheet, but with everybody back, he probably won't get 25 minutes. On the Spurs side, DeRozan, bad efficiency again. 20 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, it's fine. Trey Lyles, I think at this point we gotta take a look at him. He's been playing 27, 28 minutes every single game and give you good rebound. So, and some points. So if you need those, sure. I think he's probably a better option than Marvin Bagley, because Marvin Bagley is just worse from the free throw. And we don't know if Eldridge comes back, is he gonna take some minutes away from Trey Lyles? He's been getting a lot of minutes. And, we haven't really talked about him that much because I thought, Eldridge is out. But even if Eldridge comes back, is he going to get 27? I know Keldon Johnson also just still ramping up. But with all this time out, with Keldon out, Trey Lyles has been getting some good run. We'll see. If he can get 27, 20 minutes a night, I would stream him over a guy like Marvin Bagley. Jacob Porter only got 23 minutes because he was fouling a lot. 5 personal fouls. I would still hold on tight to him. Still 1 steal and a block. Roster him. Monty Morris, 14 points, 9 assists. Good stuff. 2 steals. Good stuff from him. Patty Mills, 26 minutes. Not interesting. And Keldon Johnson and Derek White. Man, Derek White. Keldon Johnson, sure. If he's out on the waiver wire, pick him up. I think eventually he's gonna start, but we don't know when that would be. And Derek White, we don't know. Like, if he comes back, he's gonna not start. Maybe play 20 minutes again and then slowly ramp up. It just sucks with him. We know if he gets 30 minutes, he could be valuable, but yeah, Eldridge, if you still have him, drop him. Don't pick him up until he starts playing 25 minutes and producing. Because even when he's playing, you're not really missing out that much, to be honest. He's got a big name, but you're not really missing out that much. The next team, Warriors, they just decided to punt this game. Curry and Draymond both out against the Phoenix team. It was pretty good. I guess they just all decided to punt. Say, hey, fuck it, let's rest all our guys. So, they all played pretty bad. Andrew Wiggins, with everybody out, he still only took 11 shots and a minus 22. Had 2 steals here, pretty good. 2 steals for Wiggins is pretty good. He just very, mediocre. Can consistently give you 16, 17 points, and everything else, it just depends on the night. Toscano Anderson played 33, filled up the stat sheet, but everybody back. Not really interesting. And a coach, a lot of guys get some playing time. Especially James Wiseman. Coach Steve Kerr mentioned that, hey, they want to give James Wiseman more minutes. We'll see. I wouldn't pick him up now. Toward the end of the season, who knows, right? The more minutes, is it 25 minutes? So how much value can James Wiseman give you in 25? Maybe a decent amount, because he can block a bunch of shots. I wouldn't pick him up now. Just monitor his minutes. If he ever consistently gets 25 minutes, I would roster him. But if you really need a center and you're doing well, sure, you can grab it. I wouldn't do it now. On the Suns side, it's a blowout. Nobody played over 30. Mikhail Bridges, 1 steal is nice, but nothing else. Jay Crowder, 24 minutes. And DeAndre Ayton continues to disappoint, but he's very consistent, giving you the 10 rebound. This is the only thing. I guess also very consistent, just not doing much this season. Disappointing. Even the past 2 seasons, he was consistently a top 30 guy. I think. Thought he was gonna break out. Very disappointing. Same thing with Devin Booker. 6 assists here is good. Bad efficiency, but with Chris Paul there, well, Chris Paul had a pretty rough game. If you sold high, congrats. He just took a rest day here, basically, before the All-Star break, 22 minutes. And I expect them to do it with Chris Paul once we get to the second half of the season, from time to time. Cameron Payne, 27 minutes. 17, pretty good stat. 17 points, 10 assists. This guy's got some upside whenever he plays. I remember when he was on the Bulls, he would get plenty of steals as well. Plenty of steals and assists. But, if Chris Paul is healthy, he won't get an opportunity, but great game. He was a plus 21. I guess he had it going, so coach would be like, hey, just going to give Chris Paul fewer minutes. The last game of the night is the Kings losing to Portland Trailblazers. Harrison Barnes continues to shoot okay. Great efficiency for Harrison Barnes. 17 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Marvin Bagley, 14 points and 9 assists, but bad efficiency everywhere. I would only stream him. Don't roster him. He hurts you in so many areas. Richaun Holmes, 12 and away, a great game. Richaun Holmes is so undervalued in fantasy. He's a top 40 guy. If you can trade him for like a Kobe White, I think a lot of owners might just do that trade because on paper, Richaun Holmes 13 points and 8 rebounds is really mediocre, but a lot of value is from the defensive stats and efficiency. So depending on what you need, in category leagues, that's how you can make those trades. You can trade a guy that's maybe pretty useless on a person's team goes to another person and be great, contributing, right? Buddy Hield shot the ball really well, 5 threes, 21 points. This is the Buddy Hield we want to see, but we know he really doesn't give you a lot of defensive stats or rebound or assist. Good game here regardless. De'Aaron Fox, again, bad from the free throw line. Yeah, category leagues, if you can get De'Aaron Fox or pair De'Aaron Fox and Russell Westbrook together, it will be really great. 32 points here, 12 assists, good counting stats across the board, and a block. So try to do this trade and be a Lisa. This guy, I know over the years he has some crazy efficiency, and he doesn't really hurt you anywhere. If he can get consistent 30 minutes, maybe he's worth streaming at least. Corey Joseph, not so much. Play 30 minutes and won't give you anything. On the Portland side, Derrick Jones Jr., if you want some defensive stats, he's worth streaming at least. 20 minutes here, 4 assists, 4 rebound, a steal and a block, 8 points, good enough. Robert Covington, wow, scary stuff. If Robert Covington ever has another bad game or two, you try to stream him. To me, he's a top 50 guy. On a season, where's Robert? Yeah, as bad as he's playing, he's a 60th ranked player. Jesus Christ, 1.6 and blocking 1.2 shots. There's not much to talk about him. Guys like this in fantasy who can average 1 point, the 1.6 steals could even go higher to 1.7, 1.8. Guys like this in fantasy, they're just monsters who can give you steals and blocks, and he's still shooting 37% from the field. I would buy low. I would buy low if he has another bad game or two, right? Trade him with the Norman Powell. I'll be very comfortable making that trade. Ernest Cantor, 34 minutes. Yeah, I would try to move this guy. Nurkic is doing some on-court activities. Maybe another month, maybe 3 weeks. We don't know. But once Nurkic does come back, Cantor is not gonna. He can still grab you maybe 7 rebounds, but nothing else. This is a highlight of the. Is this his best game of the season? 22 and 21 against this bad Kings team. Still in a block. I would try to move him for sure. The time window is closing. Gary Trent Jr. at 34 minutes. He's worth rostering because the volume is there, and they got 3 more games until at least CJ McCollum comes back. He has some streaming value. Damian Lillard, a big game against this team. 44, bad team, bad Kings team. 44 points, 7 assists. Good efficiency everywhere. Great stuff. Carmelo Anthony, 25 minutes, 6 for 11, 16 points, and a block. I take it. I think CJ McCollum is started doing some on-court activities, and we don't know what Nurkic is gonna do. So I would try to trade for Ernest Cantor. I would try to trade for this guy. That's it for all the games. I'll see you guys later.